So this is the Board of Health meeting. Hi. October 5th, 2023, 6 p.m. Present at the meeting and on Zoom is Sue Braska. Go ahead, Tom.
Oh, Tom Hibbert.
Megan Lightcap.
And on Zoom,
Tricia Sudlow.
Christine Southworth.
I think you're on mute, Terry.
Putnam.
Okay, I can barely hear you. We have no public on for comment.
No public.
No public comment. The minutes were sent out, and I added a few things for the director's report, but other than that, they were fine. Did you have any comments, Terry?
No.
No. So you want to make a motion to accept them?
I move that we accept the minutes as written.
Okay, and that would be for what date, Megan?
I think it was September 7th.
September 7th. I second that. All in favor? Sue Broski, yes.
Terry Putnam, yes.
Terry, are you traveling?
No, Jim and I just got home from Europe, so I'm trying to stay a little close to home just in case I have something. I feel fine.
That's good.
Okay, that's good.
Thank you.
Better safe than sorry.
Okay,
right.
the nursery report. Trish, you want to go first?
Sure. So I continue every month, do my blood pressure clinics and my presentations and my outreach in my 3 towns. And there has not been much for infectious disease going on, thankfully. Very quiet. And I'm not reporting COVID on my report any longer since the numbers are wrong. Since everyone's doing the home testing, I feel like the numbers are skewed, and I don't want to report 2 people when we know, in fact, that the COVID numbers are much higher now.
Okay.
That's all I have.
And anything coming up for this coming month?
I'm doing some training, the child passenger safety technician course. I'm taking that at the end of October for 3 days straight. And then, of course, we have our flu clinics. I'm working the Tallinn Flu Clinic Saturday. And the Granville Flu Clinic, they're having 2 of them, October 18th and November 1st.
And are you administering the shots?
No, CVS.
CVS is okay.
Yeah.
Just-
Yeah. I just
Okay.
help out. Paperwork, whatever.
Oh. And Chris, how about you?
Okay. Okay. I've been doing the outreach at the towns also once a week. Excuse me. Allergies are killing me lately. Let's see. Today we did a flu shot clinic in Russell. There were 28 flus and two RSV vaccines given. They are out of COVID vaccines. I guess it's a nationwide shortage, and they said that even CVS is having difficulty. So just be aware that they had them yesterday and they're all out today. They're waiting. They put an order in, but they don't know when they're going to get it. In Russell, there was 1 Lyme in Maven. Blandford, let's see. The next flu shot clinic is October 13th, next Friday. There were no Maven cases. Montgomery, their flu shot clinic is on the 19th. And there were 2 COVID cases, which, like Tricia said, I think that they are all skewed. I returned the Bite Lab to the DPH in Amherst. And let's see, I met with, excuse me?
What was it? The bite?
The Bite Lab. It's something by the Department of Public Health on, it's a visual thing for a nice trifold for mosquitoes and tick-borne illnesses. Yeah. I had it pretty much all summer. And just brought it to a bunch of different places. I met with Tricia and Tom and gave a report on all the towns for the future nurse. And that's about it. So I just wanted to thank you for giving me the opportunity to serve the towns that I've had. I really enjoy creating a community and providing health and wellness information to the residents, and it's been wonderful. So I just really wanted to tell you I appreciated that.
We thank you for everything you did for us and wish you well in the next phase of your career.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good night.
You too.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right, Tricia. And I know we have to talk about this at our PHE meeting. Tricia, are you going to dial into that meeting?
Yes, next week.
And what are your thoughts? Replacing?
Yeah, I
Or-
think we should hire someone. I don't know if we'll get someone with public health experience. That would be wonderful, but I think maybe like 15 hours, maybe, and up to 19 or something, but not necessarily 19 every week. Because after speaking with Chris, it seems like Montgomery being the smallest one, she was seeing maybe 2 people a week, and one gentleman doesn't even live in Montgomery. So there's no reason we have to go to Montgomery every week. I just don't see, I don't go to my towns every week, especially Granville, because there's no need to go there every week. I go there for maybe 5 hours a month because there's just, I don't see anyone. And they know that, and Granville knows that. So they're fully aware. I see actually more people in Tolland, and I tend to go there more. And of course, Southwick is a whole different entity. But for her towns, it seems that there's not a lot of people that go to the, go see her. So I think we could probably reduce the hours a little.
I would thank you for that, Tricia.
Sure.
I would caution us about reducing any hours because they'll be hard to get back. If we need maybe, and this is just a thought, maybe there are more flexible hours that are not dedicated to Montgomery, et cetera, but could flex up or flex down depending on what town needed help.
Sure.
But I really would encourage not losing any hours.
Okay.
I don't know how attractive the hours would be.
Right. Yeah.
Or we don't even know who's out there.
Right.
Right,
Yeah,
that's just it. I just
Yeah.
think that a nurse is going to pick up 19 hours or something, is going to work somewhere else because that's per diem. And per diem usually pays much more. So there has to be a benefit. If it were me and I was looking for hours, I think I'd want, 16 or something. 19 is kind of crazy number, but they're either going to be retired or getting, close to retirement, or they're going to pick up somewhere else. So it's hard to fill that. I mean, I think, the last time you only had 2 applicants or something. And I mean, Chris is leaving because she needs benefits. So then you're taking away, there's no benefits in 19 hours or even 15 hours. But I think it's what does this person do with their time too? So a lot to think about. And I mean, it's the 6 towns that have to decide too on
Right.
what they think is the best way to approach it. But either more hours and make it, a part-time where they get benefits, because then you're going to attract more people, or see if that person, and a lot of people that may take it may be at home taking care of someone, and they like the remote aspect too, which is huge today. They want to be able to work remotely and not have to travel. So that's something else to think about.
Do you think there's enough work for a 20 hours is when you get benefits?
Yeah.
Do you think there's enough work for 20 hours?
I mean, you're only talking 1 more hour. Do they get benefits at 20?
Yeah.
Yeah, then I think that's a better way to go, because then at least they get some paid time off. If it's only an
Right.
extra hour, that might be more agreeable.
But we might not be able to swing that in the budget to offer benefits for the position, because
Yes, but we got a lot more money this year.
we're doing the shared service coordinator. That took up a lot of it.
That's right,
So
we gotta get that off your plate.
so
But you'll have a period of time where we don't have anybody. I don't know how much,
Right,
how much they'd have to figure out what it would be, the extra hour and then the benefits to see. But maybe if we don't hire, if it's a month or something, you might not hire that quickly anyways.
right, right.
And
You
the towns survived without a
Yep.
nurse for this,
Right,
Yeah.
so, and I
right.
don't want you to get burnt out.
No, I won't. I don't want to be going up to her towns every week either. And right now, October, I have enough going on with what I do. But I mean, I'm willing to, check Maven and everything. I don't mind doing that.
Yeah,
If there's huge cases that come up, the state will have to help. And not that I expect it. It's usually typically slow up there, but yeah, I mean, I just think someone who can definitely function independently and multitask is huge, and someone who doesn't mind the travel.
So hopefully on Tuesday, we'll get a good representation of the towns. and
Hopefully.
that We can talk and.
I won't hold my breath, but I'm hoping.
Or else we'll have to make the decisions.
Yeah,
Right. Right.
yep.
All right,
Okay.
we can move on, so you can do what you want to do now.
All right. Thank you. Have a good night.
See you later.
Okay, so, the permits applications that,
You want to do the test kits first, go in order?
oh yeah.
Do the test kits.
Are we in order?
So for that, we had talked about getting some last time, and it's taken a while to find out how we can do it and all that. And also in the meantime, the federal government has announced that anybody can get free test kits directly through them. So,
But they can only give like a 2.
I think you get 4.
First.
Yeah, so we can get, it's a different brand of test kit, but it's obviously one of the approved ones. And they come in single packs rather than the ones we've been getting for free from the state, where a 2-pack.
What's the brand?
On Go, I think.
Did you ever hear that, Terry?
On Go? No.
On Go, it's one of the ones that you can get them directly through the state contract as well. To get a case of 288 tests is $1,850.
How much money do we have in that Tri-City?
I don't have an exact number. We initially had, I think, 30,000. We spent around 2,000 on computer equipment, and we offered to the schools, they were gonna, the air filtration systems that they bought during COVID, they need to replace the filters every 6 months or something, and that to the tune of about $8,000.
So what happens when there's no more money left? What are they gonna do about the filters?
They should have it in their budget anyway, so they should be able to get them. But that's with this grant, it has to be COVID related, and that was one of the few outside the box things that we were like, oh, we could help the schools out a little bit. Although I don't know that they've ordered them yet. I don't know if maybe on their end they feel like it's too much red tape, so they'll just buy them. I have to reach back out to them. So
does it have to go through you to go through that grant?
yeah, it has to go through me, and the schools would have to submit paperwork to me, which I would give to West
And they
Springfield,
haven't done that yet.
and they would reimburse it yet. So that hasn't happened yet. I don't know. I have to find out if they're still planning to do it. That being said, if they're getting that, we have about $20,000.
And the kits cost how much again? 1,800?
1,800.
How many?
288. So my thought was, we can order them on Amazon rather than doing it through the state contract, which is more complicated. And West Springfield said they could order them directly. If we ordered them with Board of Health money, when we get the reimbursement check, we wouldn't be able to put it back into our accounts. It would just go into the general fund. So I talked to Laura and Carl, and it seemed like there was no straightforward way for us to actually get the reimbursement back. But, what luckily West Springfield said they could make
I
the
don't
order.
understand. You put an order in, we have money from the grant, pay for it. What's so hard about that?
State finance laws don't follow common sense. So I'm sure there's a way that it could be done, but the easiest way is for West Springfield to order them directly because they have the funds and then there's no reimbursement and they're willing to do that. So that's a win.
But then don't we pay West Springfield? We're not gonna pay West Springfield?
They have money earmarked for us in the grant. So they would just take it out of our portion of the grant. So,
Okay,
cause that's the money that's what we would get reimbursed from. So if they just buy it directly straight from the grant, then that's the simplest way to do it. So we were thinking, and Agawam's part of the grant, and they were thinking of doing kind of the same thing of just ordering one case. And not like in the past, we had so many kits, we had to get rid of them and we would put them out in the library, you know, every table in town hall where someone might take them. So this time we were thinking maybe keep them behind the counter. And have it be when someone requests one, when we put out the notice to residents that we have them available. You know, encourage people to get the free ones from the state first, check with their insurance to see if they can get them through their insurance, before they come and get free ones from us, because we do have such a limited quantity.
and they'd have to get 2 from us because we test twice,
Right,
so that
right,
brings it down to 100 and,
right. So,
so I don't know.
so yeah, and then also I do know that, police and fire are interested in getting tests as well,
1,800.
and no one has any. I don't think anyone has any funding for those, to get a significant amount with how expensive they are, and
For how many kits again? 256?
288. And who knows too, the state could, in a month, the state could turn around and say, oh, we got more free ones to give out that are gonna expire.
It's $6.
So that's the other reason, we don't wanna
Kit
exhaust all of these funds
for $13.
and buy as many as we possibly can, and then have the state turn around and say they're free, so. So do you guys think just order one box for now and see how quickly it goes? We'll maybe give some to police and
We
fire.
don't know what the expiration date is on doing.
I think it would be a year, at least a year. But I guess, you don't know for sure until they show up.
What do you think, Terry?
Hey, I think it's worth getting a box. I agree. I don't know that I'd get 2 or 3 boxes just for the reasons you said.
Yeah,
And most likely, if we begin to need that many, they're going to extend the expiration dates again anyway.
right.
Okay,
Okay, I will, I'll contact the West Springfield director tomorrow. And, they'll put in the order and it'll get delivered to West Springfield, and I'll just pick it up when it's there, and we'll try to, we'll get the information out to residents and just try to encourage people to not hoard them and only get them when they really need them. Not just I think previously everyone was taking a bunch, and I'm sure there's hundreds of tests just sitting in people's closets or medicine cabinets that, haven't got used because people wanted to collect them, so,
Right beside the toilet paper.
right?
yeah.
Yep. Okay, so I will take care of that, and then be ready to move on to the
So,
permits.
well, no, the flu clinic, the Council on Aging, October 10th?
I think it was
It was
today.
today.
It was the 5th.
Was this-
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
today.
Okay, so the minutes gotta be changed to October 5th.
Okay.
Maybe you had 5 and for some reason, and I thought I listened to a recording and I thought you said the 10th.
I think
Oh.
I said the 10th, but I put the correct date on there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so.
All right,
Change it back.
so you have to change it back to 5 then.
Yeah,
Okay, it was today. And it was just it was just flu, no COVID.
correct.
Okay, so, yes, so these permit applications, Terry, that, Tom sent out to us,
Yes,
I just kind of fixed them up a little bit, changed the font and the style and, put on each of them, the top, the date received, amount paid, check number, permit number, and the, part that has to go to town clerk's office, because the town clerk checks to see whether there's any back taxes owed on any of these people who are applying for these permits. And then, I changed, then we were talking about December 15th, return.
Yes,
I changed it to December 1st.
first, okay,
To give Megan enough time to, and I said, please, I wrote, please please return the completed application with payment and certifications. This is the food one, by
Yeah.
December 1st.
okay,
And then any facility past the 31st, we consider operating without a permit, and a fine will be levied, enclosure order may ensue. So that's kind of how I,
okay,
for those things. Now, it doesn't hold for it holds for the body art establishment and the practitioner,
yeah,
but not for the haulers,
okay.
because you don't know.
Yeah, haulers is, you know, that more so than installers, haulers kind of operate year round, but certain ones will
So
not do a ton of business in Southwick, and then if they get a client, then they'll apply for the
So how does it
license.
work for the pool? They usually don't apply until they open it.
Yeah, cause the,
And then,
Wilderness Experience just got bought, by, Billy C's, the honey guy. And, I believe he's not planning to like run the pool, so I don't know if he's gonna
We heard
fill
he's
in the
filling it in.
pool. He's filling it in.
That's what I heard.
So,
so what's it?
so that was our only year-round pool. And we'll have just seasonal outdoor pools. So with the seasonal ones, we could probably just send them out in April rather than sending them out now.
All right, and the sun tanning one is, year round, tobacco one's year round.
Yeah,
So the recreational camps, I put that header on the top about received.
oh, yeah,
I had a question on the food service establishment permit. Retail food establishment greater than 25 square feet, food display.
yeah.
What is,
So that would be, they're not doing any actual food preparation. But they like a convenience store, that sells products that are temperature control for safety food, so. Anything that needs to be refrigerated.
so greater than 25 square feet up to where? To what?
I think of the display,
2,500?
it actually, that should probably be less than 25, because the next category is 25 to.
Yeah, it didn't make sense to me. That's why I wanted to bring it
Yeah.
up to you.
Says up to 25 and then 25 and over.
It says greater than 20, it doesn't address
20.
it, 25 to what?
Yeah, I feel like that should be less than. So I think that would be like, you know, a gas station, convenience store that has one single or two small refrigerators that have milk and eggs in it. That would be the less than 25 feet.
So what's the greater than 25?
Greater than, because then the next category up is $100 and it's less than 2,500. So that would be,
25 to 2,500?
yeah.
Like a
So
bigger-
I think the smallest would be the $100 fee for less than 2,500 square feet. And then the 20.
So how about less than or equal to?
Yeah, that works.
And then this one's gonna be 26 to,
Well, that should technically be, cause that's 25 to 5, so. For splitting hairs, it would be 25 or 24.99 less than. And then 25 and greater.
That sounds a little confusing.
Yeah, I think it's fine as it is. We haven't had an issue with it, so
just gonna
I
say,
think we'll change
right, so,
the 25, that should be less than.
all right, so you're
But
you're
I'll
gonna
change that,
it.
yeah.
And then the haulers one, you gotta get rid of the markup.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. And then I also, Sue and I last week had talked about the renewal letters, which I sent out in the email. I don't think that's necessarily something you guys need to vote on, but I did want to talk about it since it does say it's from the Southwick Board of Health. The old letters had a reference to I think it was the tanning code, and that was applied to all of the letters. I just took that reference out. I don't think it's worth putting in the appropriate reference to each specific code in each renewal letter. So I might make some small edits based off the one I sent you guys, but I just did this as kind of a generic renewal letter. Did you look at that email of that? So I just made it generic, and I'll obviously fill
So
in.
we're not gonna do will be considered late. We're gonna say,
I can
no, we're
change.
gonna say, please submit,
Yeah, I'll make it consistent with the language you put on the permits.
yeah, right here, please submit.
Yeah.
Completed application. No,
Yeah. Yeah, cause the late, we can say they're late, but it's not in any of our regulations, so it doesn't mean anything. I mean, there's nothing wrong with, it does have an effect and like, oh, I don't wanna be late, and it'll make them turn it in, but there's no actual punitive action. Because it's not, the only one that has the punitive action would be the food one. And that's a late fee if they go into, once they go into January and they haven't renewed.
so it's gonna be different because, right, the food one's gonna say that a fine might be levied,
Yeah,
okay?
and the other
And
ones would
it's
just
gonna
be,
say you completed application with payment and certificates, right?
yeah,
Where the other ones don't need,
yeah, so. So I mean, technically with all of them, January 1st, if they haven't renewed, we could go around and chain up everybody's doors, but I don't think, I think you catch more flies with honey, so.
hey,
But it's good to,
is this all in one file?
no, that's just,
Is it
I
all-
just have the
is it all
one
in
generic.
folder? 'Cause
Yeah.
I started a folder.
Yep. Yeah, all of the applications are in a folder, and this isn't, I can move this into the same folder.
No, all these were in a folder
Yes.
already.
Yep.
They were in a separate folder?
Yep,
Send it to me,
okay,
because we're gonna have to do a different one for different wording for each one.
right, okay,
So send it to me and I'll do that according to what's here.
okay, sounds good,
Okay, and then that'll be done. for
Yeah.
Megan.
Yeah.
And she can start sending them out.
Yeah.
I'll work on that this week.
yeah, and when do we normally send those out? Like, late October, early November?
Yeah,
Okay, so we'll probably have those started before our next meeting, have those hopefully sent out or on their way out.
so would we send one to a hauler too?
Yeah.
Of the haulers too,
Yeah.
okay.
Yep,
All right, so you're gonna get rid of the markup on this one.
Yep.
You're gonna change it to the less than on that one.
Yep.
And I'm going to,
and I'll send you the letters,
yeah, you can just do it tonight. You just send
Okay.
me the folder.
sounds good,
And that's what I was working on, but I never finished because it had that
yeah,
considered late,
right,
November 15th or something, and it wasn't right.
right.
Okay. Okay. So what's next? COVID Connor, public indecency.
Oh, yes. Rising Corner, so yeah, so,
Yes. And it's not 5 Rising Corner, it's right next to 5 Rising Corner. Yeah, it's gotten more frequent this summer. with
Okay.
with people thinking that just because they're hidden on one side that that there aren't children and people in houses. They're either going to the bathroom or they're changing clothes.
Now, what is
Okay.
it? It's a trail?
It's it's the Metacomet Trail. And there's a parking lot in front of our property that's a grass parking lot, and the trail people keep everything up, and Jim helps them keep everything mowed, and so it's a nice setup, handicap access and all of that. And so people will park in that parking lot and take
So
a
who
walk behind
owns
there. Pardon?
who owns the parking lot?
I think it's the trail people. It's Dennis Clark would know, and Jim's not here, so I can't ask him. But I can find all of that out. But yeah, it's there are little children that play outside in the house beside us all the time. And they feel as though if they lift up their SUV, the back of their SUV, no one can see them. And it's not that I have binoculars. You don't need binoculars to notice that somebody is relieving themselves in the parking lot.
Okay. Yeah, so I did reach out to the police chief when after you had sent the email, and he said he hadn't received any complaints of that, and I think that's probably more of a police matter. We could try to find out. It might honestly be the town that owns it.
Yeah, I'm not.
But I'm pulling up the GIS here just to check.
I mean, it's part of that trail that goes all the way to New York.
Right.
It's the Metacomet, and it's
Yeah.
a beautiful trail.
And it abuts your property?
Yeah. Yep. If you've driven by the Jim's garden, there's a blank grassy space in front of the garden. That's the parking lot.
Okay. Yeah, I did drive by. I could see it. Could see where you were talking about.
Yeah. No, and it wouldn't matter to me if it was somebody else's land. It's just kind of something that, we're
Right.
not. I can say this because I'm from the South. We're not in backwoods,
Yeah.
backwoods South Carolina.
Are there any signs there?
Yeah. In fact, they sometimes change clothes behind the sign. Yeah.
What do the signs say?
It's got the trail written on it. And
Okay.
there's a sign about no motorized vehicles, and they're that for sure would not be Board of Health, but there are dirt bikes and stuff on it quite regularly.
Okay.
But that's out of our purview. But yeah, there are signs here.
Is anything coming up?
It's just taking forever to load. We
I
are
think
connected to
I
that.
think it's the New England Trail people that own it, but I don't have that. Or maybe they're just in charge of the upkeep.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'll find out. Oh, here we go. It's finally loaded. All right, and it's
The town?
it is the town that owns it.
If it's the little jog piece, technically it's 5R,
Okay. Yep.
or actually it's just a parcel one, 5R is the town.
Yeah. Yeah. It is the town. That's right. No, thank you.
So
So
I
that
think,
would probably be conservation. That's
yeah, it was
in
Dennis
charge of that?
Clark was involved with it, to start off with, when they were doing the floating bridge and trying to decide if they were going to try to pave the parking lot or not.
okay.
We're glad the way it ended up, but it involved the homeowners around here. But I think
Okay.
Dennis Clark started off.
Okay.
Is there trash left there, Terry, at all?
There's no trash can. No, there's not a problem with trash. Nope.
No.
Okay.
Nope. So occasionally the dog bag left there.
Oh.
But no, not much track. And that's something that the trailhead volunteers, pretty much take care of.
Okay,
Nope, it's just the unsanitary practices right now.
yeah, okay. Yeah, maybe we can talk to conservation, and even if they print a piece of paper and laminate it and put it up, is it like the sign is like a bulletin board sort of thing?
Yeah, it's one of those glassed in boards.
Yep, so they can put up something about public indecency, you're in plain view of anyone
Yeah.
driving by or the neighbors, please be conscious. So yeah, I'll talk to Sabrina and see if they can suggest they put something like that up.
Just give me a taser.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a megaphone. Do you want the megaphone? You can yell at me.
Hey, I would love one of those. Yeah. But no, thank you.
Okay,
Now,
yeah,
has this always been going on? Or
No,
just so
No.
now?
It's gotten worse. This year it's been worse. I'm sure it probably went on, it probably goes on after dark that we really can't see, but during the day, broad open daylight in the middle of the day.
yeah,
People will come off the trail and change their clothes and just pee.
yeah. They could just pee like 100 feet before they get to the parking lot
Yeah.
where no one can see them.
Nobody would know. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with changing clothes, but.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah,
That's-
yeah. And then you think about like a porta potty, but then is that an attractive nuisance? So it's probably better to just put up some signage. People can see you,
But
be
then-
conscious.
But then, dogs will pee.
Right, right.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with dogs don't have bathrooms to go to. But people, that there's just some public decency kind of stuff. But
Yeah,
All right, so I
Yeah.
definitely have to, I'm gonna mention it to conservation
Yeah.
to see if they can
yeah,
add that to their North Lake,
yep,
issues there.
thank
And see
you.
what happens.
no problem. All right, so, bunch of septic, a lot of inspections and COCs. 18 Hudson Drive, approved the plan for the new, big Wally computer building. Couple other plan approvals for new construction over on the old Southwick Country Club on Silvergrass. And then a few perks on,
So when you say final COC, did you do the inspection?
yeah, the final
You did the
and the
inspection?
COC,
So,
the final inspection and the COC.
okay, so
Yeah.
final and COC, final.
Yeah.
So I just kind of made sentences out of it, Megan, to make it
Yeah,
a little more.
yeah. And then,
Sheep Pasture Road 14, is that a repair?
yeah, those three were all repairs.
And then,
Um,
232.
oh, no, I'm sorry, sheep
That's new, right?
pasture was new construction.
Sheep Pasture's
Yeah.
new. Okay, Noble Steed, was that new and Silver?
Yeah, Noble Steed was new construction, Silvergrass and both of Silvergrass are new construction.
How about Fernwood? That was a repair?
Yep,
And Feeding Hills repair
yep,
and Finding Hill.
yes, that was also a repair. Yep, so nothing, nothing crazy at any of those, all just standard normal perks, normal septic systems, no issues. Housing, we had talked about that one last time. I haven't gone back for re-inspection. I think they either just hit their 30 days or they're just about to hit their 30 days. So I will hopefully have an update on that one the next meeting.
So you do a reinspection
Yeah,
is due.
yep. Food service, haven't had much much time for food service, unfortunately, but we'll hopefully,
Have you hit in?
I've hit a hand,
Have you hit all the restaurants yet?
no,
All the
not,
stores yet?
not yet. So that's the goal. I gotta get out there soon, so. For the PHE grant, we had our meeting and was once again ill attended.
Wait a minute, no, 1 September.
The one in September, yeah. That was
Oh,
after our
that's
last
right,
Board of
that's
Health
September
meeting.
12, okay.
So we talked about, what the towns, what everyone would wanna do with,
1 September.
with Chris's position. And we talked about the inspection software but we didn't, it was Sue, a select board member from Russell, and Crystal, the inspector for Russell and Granville.
No, there's
So
a-
she covers both
no,
those.
there's a guy.
That was the, Wayne, the select board from Russell.
So
So
there weren't 4 of us. Were there 4 of us? on
there's
that?
three. Technically, I cover Montgomery too, but I can't vote, so we didn't technically have a quorum. We're also not technically a public body yet, so we kind of met anyway, but we didn't feel comfortable making any decisions on anything because not enough of the towns were there, so I sent out a survey to all the towns to try and assess what everyone thinks, because we're also trying to get the IMA completed, and want to make sure everyone's good with that document before we start having each select board sign it. So, so I had that and a few other questions just to, that way, even if not everyone attends the meeting, hopefully I'll have an idea of what each town wants to get out of the
Has
grant.
anybody- Excuse me.
That's-
Has anybody,
Bless
even the people that haven't come to the meetings, have they responded at all about the IMA?
Not yet. I haven't checked the survey this week. When I checked at the end of last week, no one had done it. But I'll check it tomorrow and I'm gonna send out a reminder email tomorrow, so. So hopefully that will be fruitful next week and we can get moving with the inspection software. Get moving with the
Coordinator.
the grant coordinator and hiring Chris's replacement as well, so.
I forget what I was gonna ask you.
Okay, well, let me know if you think of it, but so that's where that's at, we're at,
Oh, this is it.
oh,
So do you know who the people are that are supposed to attend the meetings?
I know I have contact information for someone who said they would attend the meetings, but it's up for. It's just that whole complicated issue of we're not official, we don't have the IMA. That's what defines who can attend for each group. So at this point, it's anyone from any town that shows up is better than nothing. Once that has been formalized, each Board of Health will have to decide who their representative is. It could be a member of the Board of Health, could be a member of the Select Board, it could be their agent, it could be, I mean, I guess they could pick anyone to do it that they wanted. But I would generally think it would be a board member or their inspector or agent or someone like that, but so that procedure isn't really in place yet, so we don't have like a defined, it's Sue for Southwick and Wayne for Russell, even though that's kind of what it seems like the people will be. It's so I just send it to as many people as I can from each town and
nothing.
whoever shows up. And I mean, I think Russell's been coming now, that I got to the right people.
It's Russell Wayne.
Yeah. Granville and Blandford have generally been neither one of them they had something last minute come up for the last
Crystal's
meeting.
Granville, right?
Yeah.
Jennifer's Blanford.
Blandford. So So if I think we're heading in the right direction, and last month was just a bad month, but
Now, the people in Montgomery, have they designated you?
they can't designate me, which is I think initially they thought I was covering them, but I recently found out from the attorney that I can't represent because I'm the grant coordinator right now. I'm the Southwick Health Director and the Montgomery Health Agent, that it's like a conflict for me to represent them. So I did talk to the Board of Health chair, and I emailed all of the board members up there to let them know one of you guys needs to show up at this meeting, because although I can advocate for you during the meetings, I can't technically represent you. So, so hopefully, and I'm gonna nudge them more than anyone else, but hopefully he'll be able to make it. So I'm hopeful that we will finally have a good, maybe have 5 towns there would be nice.
The next meeting is,
That'll be next Tuesday, so
October, what day is that?
the,
The 12th?
that might be the 10th.
10th?
The 10th.
Yeah, the
October
10th.
10th, at
October 10th.
2:30.
Yeah,
Okay, put that in there.
so
All right, what's the Yankee conference?
Yankee Conference, I went to that.
What is it all?
It's a environmental health conference. It was put on by the Massachusetts Environmental Health Association, along with the Connecticut equivalent, and the FDA. It was like 3 conferences all jammed into one. So it was 2.5 days. It was up in at the Hotel Northampton, and I went up there each day, and there was some good stuff.
What do they talk about?
A lot of food stuff. Some of it was a little, like the FDA stuff was like how they adopt the new food code, which was kind of like the state does that. It's not something that local public health does. So some of it was a little useless, but there was some good stuff too. And I got CEUs, which I need for my license. So that was good too.
Anything about septic, anything about?
There was a couple septic talks. But most of it was about food. But yeah, it was a pretty good conference. And safety committee. So that's part of my job description when they made it full time, was to be the safety coordinator. So we're finally getting the safety committee started back up.
So who's on the safety committee?
Me, police, fire, DPW, facilities, Carl and Nadine, and I think that was pretty much it.
Who's taking Charlie Dunlap's position?
Russ Anderson.
Russell Anderson is now
He is?
emergency management director
Yeah,
and now chairman of the LEPC too, I think,
yes,
It's LEPC.
Local Emergency Planning Commission.
Now, is he, our fire chief too?
No,
no, he retired.
Rich Stefanowitz is the fire chief.
Oh, okay. All right, so Russ is, okay, good.
Yeah. So yeah, we had our LEPC meeting was last Thursday, I think. So, and I am the treasurer of LEPC now.
And what do you do?
Congratulations.
I'm not sure yet. I don't know if we have money.
What does LEPC do? What do you do?
We meet with, it's all the town departments, as well as, like businesses in town that would have, like the schools are there, Bay State is there. This one was kind of like a meet and greet, but I know would go to those meetings in Westfield, and like the rail line was there, the utility companies would be there, and kind of just get all the faces in the same place, so that way if there was some sort of emergency, like that's who would be. Carl was talking about how during the snowstorm, Eversource had set up in the Big Y parking lot, and they brought them in and had them set up their headquarters in town hall, and just kind of setting up those relationships, and generally go over anytime there's a big event in town of where there could be a potential for you know, like at the WIC, if there was some emergency and we had, you know, 50,000 people at the WIC, who would be involved and
So
that
what's the
sort of.
difference between that and the safety committee? Are they both the same?
Safety committee is more like employee safety, OSHA type safety and, goes along with the insurance as well for the town, so.
Before you leave, Doug, is there anything you wanna talk to us about or?
Nope, just haven't been to a Board of Health meeting in a while, I figured I'd stop in and
All right,
Well, thanks for stopping in.
okay, thank you.
thanks for having me.
All
Have a
right,
great evening.
all right,
You too.
so you can put Doug down as,
I did.
public.
Yeah.
Okay, so safety committee is more local.
Yeah, that's like town employees, employee safety,
Okay, and the LEPC is more townwide?
Yeah.
What does it stand for again?
local emergency planning.
Committee?
I thought it was committee. I think Doug said commission. Could be either
Yeah,
one.
could be commissioner.
Could be either one.
Okay,
And we already talked about the PHE grant meeting, so. That's, oh, I do have one unanticipated item that came up today.
Committee.
It is
Local
committee,
Emergency
okay.
Planning Committee.
committee, can put that in the minutes, committee, what it stands for.
We had a, resident complain, they initially complained to the police department and, Lieutenant Banish called me. See if I knew anything about it, and at the time I didn't, but I called, it was at Aaron Circle. And a resident there was complaining, but was concerned about, poison boxes. Which I assumed were some sort of pest control. But so I got through to the property manager, from Wayfinders, who operates that facility. And then I got to the pest control company they use, and, I haven't gone out to look at it myself, but according to the company, it was American Pest Solutions, I wanna say. I should remember, I just talked to him like 4 hours ago. But it was, pesticide used for mice. All of the pesticides are, close to the buildings, and in bait boxes that are tamper resistant.
So
It's
how-
all EPA registered.
How big are these boxes?
I haven't seen it myself, but I think fairly small. It's just for mice. So they just put the bait with the poison in it in the boxes, and the mice go in and eat a little bit, and
So
then,
cats and dogs can't get in there.
no. So from what I can tell from talking to the company, they've been doing this for years. They're licensed, the chemicals they use are approved by the state and the EPA.
And they're contained in the
And
box.
they're contained in the box. They're applying them as they're supposed to by the EPA guidelines, by the manufacturer guidelines. So I honestly don't think there's anything that can be done. I know there's a lot of people, and there's pros and cons to using chemicals. There is a concern that then the dead mice has the chemical in it, and if someone gonna eat the dead mite, then some other animal gonna eat the dead mouse. And are they gonna
So
get,
is it like,
warfarin
warfarin is like decon?
it's not warfarin, it's I have it written down, I can't remember what the chemical was.
So they take it and then they die elsewhere?
Yeah, it's an anticoagulant or something like that.
Okay, so it's like warfarin?
Yeah, so,
Decon.
so. I understand there's still gonna be people that don't like the use of those chemicals, but I think that it is, they're doing it in line with the law, and so I don't think there's any recourse that we could take, other
Instead
than,
of having mice.
right, and spread the mice, then they're spreading disease and all that, so. I can see both sides, but as far as we're concerned, I'm gonna go out just to look at it myself to make sure the boxes aren't you know, wide open or make sure they actually are tamper resistant, but, I think it's gonna, if they're doing everything within the guidelines, then there's nothing anybody can do about it. It's perfectly legal to do that, so, but the resident was concerned, so I'll do everything I can to make sure they are doing it properly, and, if not, I'll reach out to the company and see if, I don't even think we would be the ones that would do enforcement against that. I think I would have to find maybe DEP or whoever licenses might be Department of Agriculture that licenses them, but I don't think they are doing anything wrong. I think one of the residents just got a little frightened by it or something, so but
Okay,
I'll look into that, but I did wanna let you guys know, I think there were some calls to the state rep, and so I don't know if any of you guys get called, then now you'll know what it's referring to, so.
okay, anything else? Do you have anything else, Terry?
No,
All right,
Megan?
Yeah.
And, Chris's last day
tomorrow,
is tomorrow?
Yep.
Now, is there anything that she has to return to us?
yeah, she's dropping it off tomorrow. So her computer, her phone. I think she has some paperwork and brochures and stuff that she'll bring back, but computer and the phone is the big one, so. So, yeah, I think Trish will be, at least for a short time, will be good with the Maven, and I think the thing that would really burn Trisha out would be going to all of the towns. And to do the Maven, which is, according to the state, the most important thing that the public health nurses do, you don't need to go to the towns to do Maven, so. So for a temporary basis, we can roll back the office hours in each town until the next nurse is started up. And then, kind of,
Well, she-
on Tuesday, hopefully everyone will be there, we can talk about how everybody wants to do things
Yeah, I think we
moving
can
forward.
expect her to drive every day to here
Right,
and there and here
right.
and there.
No.
There's 6 towns.
No,
it's like 5 days a week.
they both have said that, they'll go up to some of these towns and see one person, 2 people, so, not that you should never go to the towns
Right.
at all, and, but if you can go up and, leave some information, leave your contact info, have somewhat of a presence, and then, as long as the residents of each town know that they have a public health nurse that they can call, they have questions or anything, so, but I think, hopefully it won't be too long and we can get another nurse started,
We have to decide whether we're gonna go,
right?
we want benefits.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll have to see if we can finagle the budget to make that work, or
Any chance to get more money from the state?
could ask. They probably wouldn't give us more money this year, but maybe for next year. Which could work out, because we will probably have, we have in the money since July, we've had money in the budget for the grant coordinator. We still haven't hired that person, so we'll have extra money from salary this year. So if we could pay them more, and then we could put us in the bind if the state doesn't give us more money next year, but if
Did you already post coordinator?
it's, I'm
Indeed.
waiting to get it back, Carl seemed to think that select board needed to approve it, and I don't know if I'm not sure. Because they are a town of Southwick employee, so, it should be on their agenda, but I'll confirm that and then have them approve it, and then we can post it, but Nadine reviewed it, one of the town attorneys reviewed it, so at this point, it's just a rubber stamp and we can get it up, so.
Okay,
So that's close. It's progressing slowly but surely. So,
very slowly.
yeah. Yes, indeed.
Very slowly. Okay, Terry. You have nothing else?
Nope, I do not. So I move that we adjourn.
Okay, I second that. Motion that we adjourn, 7 PM. All in favor?
Aye.
Sue Braska, aye. Thank you. See you at the
Alright.
next meeting, which is going to be November, the first Thursday, in November, 6 o'clock,
November 2nd.
November 2nd. Okay,
All right.
take care.
Thank
See you later.
Thank you.
Bye.